Yes. Yay! There we
You're proving to be quite a talent.
go.
It's been a real pleasure hearing what my CSIs have to say about your work so far. That's why I'm handing you this case. A respected surgeon was brutally killed in his home earlier this evening.
Ouch.
We've got only one witness, the victim's wife, a blind woman. Greg will shadow you on this one. Maybe he can learn something from you.
Oh! Harsh. Right. So a surgeon's been brutally murdered, and the witness didn't see anything because they're blind. Guess we head to the crime scene. See what we can find. Cheers, everybody.
Hey, thanks for coming aboard. From what I hear, you are the CSI to be partnered with these days. So anyway, welcome to the crime scene. Grisly murder, Vic upstairs in the bedroom. The decor? Early spatter. And his wife Amita didn't see a thing, being as she's blind. But we can count on her other senses being keen. So we have to interview her right now, despite her understandable shock.
Hey, looks like you got everything under control. I'll see you back at the office.
We're sorry to have to trouble you, Mrs. Banderit. We're with the Las Vegas Crime Lab. We understand you found your husband.
My husband, Riot, he was very tired because he worked so very hard. He often went to bed early. Tonight, he went to bed early.
Do you remember what time your husband went to bed?
I do, actually. It was just before the BBC NewsHour on the radio. That would make it around 7. I often stay up to listen. They play international music after the news. That would make it just after 9 p.m. when I went upstairs. I entered the bedroom as always, and as always I spoke to him. He did not sleep deep, and would greet me when I joined him. But he did not answer, even when I raised my voice. I went to him and found the awful moisture. I knew it was blood almost at once. I could smell the blood. I had some moments of panic, and then I went to the phone and called 911, but
It's always a
I
good
knew it
plan to
was
do
too
that when you
late.
discover your husband dead in
his
your bed.
breathing, I could not hear it.
We understand that you are vision impaired.
Yes, I am blind, in both the practical and legal sense.
How well do you see?
I have basic light and dark sensitivity. I cannot see objects or shapes, so I must rely on my hearing. My ears have become my eyes.
Did you hear anything unusual during the crime?
No, my ears were as blind to it as my eyes. You see, I did not like to disturb my husband. As I said, he was a light sleeper when he could get sleep at all, so I use headphones after he goes to bed. I did faintly detect footsteps on the stairs, but I thought those were my husband's. He would often come down for a drink of water, or perhaps to take sleep medication.
It wasn't this time. Just do that. Did you make physical contact with your husband when you discovered?
I surely must have. I cannot be specific. I was almost immediately in a panic, and my memory is but a blur.
Your clothing shows no overt signs of bloodstain, Mrs. Banderit.
I do apologize for that. I know I have probably inadvertently hurt your evidence gathering, but I felt compelled to change, to wash my hands, so as not to sit and wait in my husband's blood. I do have the clothing for you.
Blood transfer fairly minimal on these clothes, consistent with her interview. Let's take a look at the scene.
Let's just take a sample of blood. That. Alright, let's have a look. Oh, hello.
Older style answering machine. Tape's missing. I guess they weren't getting their messages.
Why would the tape be missing? Let's ask the lady. Was the door locked when your husband went to bed?
I cannot be sure. Pryor usually locks up before going to bed, but as I say, he was especially tired. Perhaps he forgot.
Your answer machine is missing the tape.
Such things were the province of my husband.
Would anyone have reason to harm your husband?
Such a thought is unthinkable. Pryor was a shining star in the Indian community, well liked by his peers, adored by his patients. He leaves a terrible void.
Oh, hello.
Fairly small print. If it's the attackers, we may be looking for a female.
Photo of bloody footprint.
Bloody fireplace poker, and my usage isn't British. Probably an impromptu weapon picked up here at the house.
We have pink. Blood from fire poker. Oh! That is just nasty.
Height of the bloodstain indicates the attacker was short. 5'3", give or take. Definitely not a former NBA star.
How's that?
You know the saying, looks like a duck, quacks like a duck, must be a duck? Don't try that one out on Grissom. Looks like tea, smells like tea, analyze it anyway.
Looks like tea, smells like tea. Analyze it.
Massive bleeding from the head, spatter all around. Indicates blunt force trauma.
Wow, that blood went really high.
Ceiling spatter is consistent with the blunt force object being swung back for another hard blow.
That's pretty. Aha!
Nice one. Almost missed it myself. How about you do your partner a favor and skip telling Grissom what I just said?
I very nearly missed it. What size shoe do you wear?
It varies according to the brand. Typically, I wear a woman's size 8.
Mrs. Bandery, may we take your slippers for comparison purposes? We found a footprint on the stairs, and if it's not yours, might belong to an intruder.
You know I will do anything in my power to find the demon responsible.
Okay, we've got some slippers.
You'll want a different tool for that. This doesn't look like anything from inside the house. Dead or alive, I don't like touching insects. Grab it if you want. Grissom will appreciate it.
That's where they're missing. Okay, yes. Oh no, I've already been in there. There's still things to do on them, that's fine. Saying we're done. Alright, let's go to the morgue. You recover the victim's body for us?
Sure, I'll send a team right out.
Ow. I can see. Alright. What do you make of the cause of death?
Textbook case of death by forceful, blunt instrument impact. 4 medium impact blows, latter 2 drawing blood.
Did the doctor report show prescription sleeping aids in his system?
Heavy dose of the Vic's system, explaining the lack of defensive wounds on his arms and hands. Mr. Bandery was in a deep sleep that simply became permanent. I've got nothing new to report on the Vic.
Okay. Then let's head to the lab. And let's have a little thing. Gotta start comparing stuff. Alright, here we go. Let's start. Oh, hello. Ah, okay, I guess we're putting a teacup together. Flip. Aha! Ah, there we go. Okay, let's start with what is the obvious. Is that? Take a stab and say that fits. Eh? Yeah. I'm reassembling a teacup. Aha. Alright. Yep. Goes there. So that goes in there. Goes there. There.
Missing a piece of the puzzle here, and the crime scene didn't give it up. Of course, the teacup could have been already chipped.
So we have a teacup with a piece missing. I was gonna say, come on, I've just put it back together. And there, okay, what we got on this printer here? Fingerprints. Alright. Bloody fingerprint. Okay. Civil. LVPD records. Samples found. BI records. Huh. Alright, make a note. Brand and to the slippers.
Can't rule out the missus. Not just yet. She cops to being in the house all along. Not only that, a blind person knows his or her house better than a sighted occupant.
So we've still got, we don't know whose fingerprint. Okay. Alright, let's get analysing some DNA. Blood from clothes. Compare it to Banbury's DNA. I think we haven't. Okay. So another blood is fire poker. So again, okay, so nobody else's blood.
Vic's blood on the fireplace poker. An object consistent with the ceiling's back spatter. Good bet we have our murder weapon.
Okay, I haven't done the teacup yet. I haven't found that. We haven't found that. I'll sort that out in a minute. Item. Aha! Hello.
Nice catch. Let's see if we can flush out who drew a club in their poker hand.
Is a piece missing? If we can compare the bloody fingerprint to fire poke. Anything? Doesn't look like it. Ah. Civil records. Okay, we got two. Ah.
Print belongs to another eye surgeon, a Darsh Dewan. On visa sponsored by the Vic for his medical practice. No current address, though.
Okay. Why would he? That doesn't match. No, that doesn't match. We still haven't worked out who's the bloody fingerprint yet. Alright. And first off, is this just tea? Darjeeling tea and prescription sleeping. Start. Now, what was on the bottom of her slipper?
Asphalt. Sticky bun fresh, too. Banderites are in a new housing development, newly paved roads, so there's the source. Asphalt's on top of the blood stain, meaning the slipper picked it up after stepping in blood.
We need to rule her fingerprints out. Did the victim have a prescription for a sleeping aid?
That's an easy one. Give me a sec to look it up. Vic had a legal prescription for the medication, strictly kosher.
You found Vic's business partner, Adash Dawan.
No current address for Dwan in the system. No vehicle registered in his name, either. I'll let the boys know Mr. Dwan is a person of interest, but he may well have split if he's involved. Once you got enough evidence, I'll hit up a judge.
Let's go find out about this, ask her about the, Did you leave the house after you found your husband?
I don't believe that I... Let me think. It was such a confusing evening. I'm sorry. Yes. Yes, perhaps I did step outside.
Mrs. Banderit, fresh asphalt on your slippers indicates you wore them outdoors. Isn't that a little unusual?
In the cold light of reason, yes. But I was caught in the throes of panic, thinking an intruder might be in the house. I ran outside on impulse without any sense of my bearings. I did manage to find my way back home, and after several minutes, listening, felt I could risk going back and phone for help. I'm sorry I did not remember this sooner.
That's all right. But my partner and I will need to have a look around, outside.
What can you tell us about Adash Diwan?
Adarsh was my husband's junior partner at the medical practice. Very fond of him, Prayat was. Adarsh's parents were old family friends of Prayat's in India. Prayat sponsored his visa so he could come here and work.
Where is Mr. Dewan now? We have no address on him.
Odd as it may seem, neither do I. Mr. Dawan was in the process of finding a home. I believe he was living temporarily with friends, but I'm afraid I don't know where.
Is he on a car?
I believe my husband mentioned Adarsh had purchased a truck. I don't remember any special model or... what is the word? Make of the vehicle. And of course I have not seen it for myself.
Okay, well, we got a new location, so... To the driveway! Big driveway. Okay, we got a car. Oh, hello, brake and tail light.
Somebody was in too much of a hurry to use their eyes backing out.
I guess we're putting those together. Thoroughness point awarded. I spy blood.
Mrs. Bandery says she went outside, and these droplets are consistent with what she told us. Make that what she finally told us.
Alright, so we've got a bit of blood from the driveway.
You'll want a different tool for that. Broken taillight, a fresh tread. Car backed up, bumped into the dumpster, then went up and over the curb and sped away.
Anything else? Leaves here. Look, okay, apparently so. Wrong one. Let's go back inside. There's clearly something that won't appear until... What's he done? Yeah. Oh.
I can't think of anything I haven't told you already.
Alright, let's get back to the lab. Alright. Sworn that's fitted there, but I guess not. Oh. Nope. Alright. Screw that. Okay, what have we got here? Fingerprints. Oh, still can't compare fingerprints, shoe prints, tire treads. CSI sample. Five of the buggers. That seems to match. Alright.
Excellent. There's our make and model.
Still haven't worked out whose the bloody fingerprints are. What? Oh, that makes absolutely no sense whatsoever. Can do this again. No samples found. Alright, I guess I gotta try and put this together. Seem to be having all that much luck. Still haven't worked out who the bloody, literally the bloody fingerprint. Damage photos all done. Appear to be anything on here as far as I can see. You can tell us why the husband's blood was outside on the driveway.
I can't think of anything I haven't told you already.
Okay. Alright, so I've managed to find a bug for Grissom, so there's that. Let's go talk to Brass, see if Brass can get us a new. Brass! Where are you doing, Brass? Let's go. Captain, I need...
Once you got enough evidence, I'll hit up a judge.
Hey? Excuse me, he hasn't got anything for me. I'm just gonna go through everything. Gotta be something. Doc, you got something for me? Oh. Does the poker match to fix his head wound?
Well, the marks are consistent. The fire poker is almost certainly your murder weapon.
Looks like the two of you are off to a good start. Learning anything from your partner?
We're too busy actually investigating a case to figure out which one of us you are referring to. So, to fill you in, we've discovered a print belonging to the former eye doctor's business partner on the murder weapon. According to the wife, he drives a truck, and we found a tire tread at the scene, along with broken taillight fragments.
So you have a suspect, and a reasonable description of his vehicle. Have you hit up Brass for an APB yet?
We were just on our way over there.
Tell you what, since you two are doing such a fantastic job with the evidence, why don't you keep at it? I'll talk to Brass and have him call you when he gets a hit on your missing vehicle.
Cool. Go to Brass. Brass, you got an update on our missing vehicle?
Once you got enough evidence, I'll hit up a judge.
Okay. Just gonna go back to the driveway. Okay, they weren't there before.
Were those trash cans there before? Or am I having eyesight trouble?
No, they were definitely not there, unless, you know, the game just spawned them in. Bit of lag.
Tiny tape like this, likely from an answering machine. Tape snapped, but that's no problem.
Alright, let's go see what's on this tape. Ah, okay, so we have got everything. Evidence-wise, at least we have everything from there.
Mother, pick up. Pick up. Mother, I know you're listening. You have got to divorce that man.
happy, Mother. And so can I.
Maybe things at the Banderit house were not as perfect as Mrs. Banderit wanted us to believe.
Ah. That might explain the fingerprints. Alright, Mrs. Bandery. Found an ice machine tape in the trash outside.
I should have mentioned that. I just did not want you to misunderstand, to think my daughter... She has always been an excitable girl. She overreacts. I wanted to spare my husband of that melodrama, so I cut the tape and threw it away, and told Pryor the tape had broken.
Dada seemed pretty distraught on the tape.
Is any marriage perfect? Whatever small problems there might be, my marriage was sacred to me, and Bryot's word, his will, I obeyed, with love in my heart. My daughter was raised in this country and does not understand.
You know where we can find your daughter?
Why, she lives right across the street. She is a wonderful daughter at heart. She welcomes me into her beautiful kitchen for lunch every day.
Okay. Going to Adia's house. Okay. What do we reckon? Daughter did it?
It's about time you people came around. I've been on the phone all night trying to get some answers from the police. Have you found my father's killer?
No, Ms. Banderit. We're with the Las Vegas Crime Lab. We've come across an answering machine tape of you begging your mother to leave your father. What threat were you afraid your father might make good?
It wasn't like that. Not a threat of violence. My father was pushing me into marrying a man I do not love. The threat was to cut me off from my mother if I didn't do his old school bidding. Some choice, huh? Marry a man I detest, or never see my own mother again.
Whom did he wish you to marry?
His business partner? A disgusting little creature called a Darshdawan. I work with the creep at my father's practice. Manipulating little weasel, playing off an old friendship between our families to worm his way into my father's good graces. Finally, I learned Adarsh was nothing more than a common thief, stealing from our family. I told him resign or face exposure, but he laughed me off. He said he could handle my stupid father. Never thought he meant murder.
He's been stealing?
Yes, credit card fraud. Using my father's Visa card to be precise. A snake. Right behind our backs. My father told me that Visa noticed suspicious activity and alerted him right away. I don't know if he suspected Adarsh, but I did, and I found proof in his apartment.
You know where he lives? Mind if we look around?
Yes. I won't have you wasting precious time here when you could be rounding up that little rat, Adarsh.
Actually, it won't take but a moment to collect that footprint by the door. Or we could wait here till we get a warrant.
If that's what will get you out of here faster, take the footprint and take off.
Grissom put me onto that runaway Doc you're looking for. Well, when a black and white hit the siren over that busted tail, Doc Dewan got nervous and hit the gas. Chase hardly started before he stripped the curb and got pulled over. The doctor is currently in custody as a person of interest. You can talk to this charmer anytime you like. Just stop by my office. Got his truck, too.
Ho ho! Let's go have a look at the car.
Damn, the tire we needed for comparison got shredded in the police chase, and we got no warrant to search the interior. We need some other way to tie the truck to the crime scene.
Oh, ouch. Yeah, that's Oh, hey, insect. Alright, let's see if I can piece this together. Okay, here we go. Ha! Now we are getting somewhere. Somewhere up there. It's in there. Good. In there. That just means bingo.
All right, we placed the truck out in front of the Vic's place, without the tire track evidence.
Right, okay, let's go inside. Aha! Shoe prints and titles, this is what we want. Okay. So, that. Ooh.
This is a wake-up call. The slipper with the asphalt mark matches the muddy footprint, meaning Mrs. Bandery called on her daughter after discovering Mr. Bandery had bought it.
This is just not going well. Alright, Brass, I want evidence. I want warrants. Give me warrants. Can I get a warrant? Go on, search idea about home.
Footprint evidence provides a clean link between her home and the crime scene. Plus, we got a possible motive thanks to the answering machine tape. Enough for a warrant.
How do we want? Can we get access to the town and country?
Busted light ties the truck to the street in front of the Vic's residence. That key unlocks the truck for a look-see.
Alright, do we want to go talk to the business partner? Now let's do some more investigation on his car. Got a warrant for the car.
We have a late model vehicle here. Practically brand new. Still, I'd say Adar spruced up the interior. Cleaned, vacuumed it. Everything but the new car smell.
Okay. Laptop.
So this is the memo Aji wrote. Locked. If we break in, the next warrant Brassel issue will be on us. Let's see what else we can find.
Alright, won't let me. Okay. Let's go and have a look and see what's on this file before we go talk to
These are emails confirming online purchases Adarsh made using the card. Email confirmations are normally sent by merchants as a safety precaution, but Adarsh had access to their computer, and he snagged them to cover his actions. I'll have Brass check in with Visa.
Okay. Alright. Yeah, Brass checking with Visa. Did you contact Visa about Mr. Darren's fraud?
I called Visa. Good folks over there. And they said Visa's continuous monitoring program detected suspicious activity. Mr. Dwan was changing the shipping address, sending items to his home and back to India. Not your model employee.
I want to go talk
He's
to him.
on his way to interrogation now.
Let's go and see what he's got to say for himself. Naughty little boy.
Dorit was found murdered in his home earlier this evening.
Murdered? No, he was my dearest friend. He was to be my father-in-law. Oh my goodness gracious, such a terrible thing to have happened. Are you certain? Could there be, I hope, some horrible mistake?
Nope. Okay. We have your prints on the fire poke you used to kill Dr. Brown.
And your car was at the scene, Doctor. Maybe he knew about your stealing and didn't find it so trivial.
You have such a negative view of such innocent things. We were in the Banderit's living room when the good doctor informed his lovely wife that I would soon marry their daughter. We celebrated over tea and Mrs. Banderit requested a fire. At this time, I handle the poker to which you refer.
Did you say you were to be the victim's son-in-law? You know what?
Oh my goodness gracious, yes. All has been arranged between the families. I'm to marry Dr. Bandarit's most wonderful daughter, Adya. We are both excited to begin our new lives as Mr. and Mrs. Dewan.
Adia's excited, all right, but because her daddy was pushing her into this arranged marriage and threatening to separate her from her mother if she didn't cave.
It's a big leap we make together, and of course she has small moments of doubt. But the day will soon dawn when my dear Adya will acknowledge her father's wishes and understand my sincere deep affections.
So we found evidence of fraud on your laptop.
You use such harsh language to describe the smallest of misunderstandings. I am new to your country, and the laws and procedures here are unlike those in India. I plan to rectify the smallest of errors upon my return from Los Angeles.
So can you explain the memo from Adya that we found in your vehicle?
What memo?
The one from Adya, your bride-to-be, threatening to let her daddy know you'd been stealing.
Again, I must point out that what may look to you like stealing is a mere misunderstanding. My sweet and lovely Adya has the tiny fault of getting largely excited over the smallest of matters. As I say, I would have corrected these trivial mistakes.
So where were you between the hours of 7 and 9?
Let me try to think. I believe I was in my office. Yes, I worked late in the office. I'm catching up on my paperwork, you know. I left around 9 p.m. on my way to Los Angeles to visit friends for the weekend.
We have evidence that puts your vehicle at the victim's home.
This should be no surprise. Do I not visit on occasion the home of my esteemed employer, my future father-in-law?
So your vehicle looks like it's been thoroughly cleaned.
I take perhaps foolish pride in the luxury vehicle I'm blessed to drive. I'm meticulous in my, upkeep. I keep it up, I keep it clean. I bought a portable vacuum to help in this crusade of cleanliness.
Where do you keep the vacuum cleaner?
Oh, let me think. I believe in my toolbox.
Mind if we take a look? We'll need your keys.
I'm honored to help you in your investigation.
Thanks. I'll hold on to him.
Okay.
Please, I have told you everything.
Alright, well you can sit there for a minute while I just go into the options menu. As you do. Let's go.
Okay, I have unlocked the toolbox but didn't find any tools. Just cleaning supplies. My goodness gracious, but Dr. Dewan is neat. We can work with that on the assembly table.
Dyson Route 6. Else. We're good. Alright. Don't get what we need from Ardia's house. I reckon it was both of them. Or it was Ardia trying to frame.
Why do you stupid people insist on wasting time searching my house when I've already told you who to investigate? In the meantime, my mother is on the verge of a nervous breakdown, and the killer is running free. I don't have another word for you.
Cool. We work well when it's quiet. We'll start with your fingerprints.
Ugh.
Alright, so we got her fingerprints. Let's go and have a look what else we got. And there.
You want a different tool for that.
Right?
You want a different tool for that.
Okay.
You're close. Try something similar.
Oh, look at that bright blue. Let's put this all together. Go on.
Looks like Ms. Bandereed has a few more words for us after all. Secret ones, but words.
Location searched. Perfect. Alright, let's get all this back to the lab. Oh, hello.
This little baby may mean we're now the proud owners of a complete teacup. Better confirm in the lab.
Now, why would that be in his Hoover?
Chip from Dr. Dewan's vacuum cleaner is a perfect match for the teacup found at the crime scene. Let's see him squirm politely out of this one.
Alright, what we got here? On fabric. I've got nothing to compare it to. Alright. Ah! I now have an extra set of fingerprints. Well, would you look at that?
Bloody fingerprint belongs to the daughter. That puts her at the crime scene when her father was murdered. So our Vic was responsible for his wife's blindness.
Wow, she failed to mention that. So. Oh, so many things. Oh, hello. I've got ammo as this. And what was on that silk fabric?
The Vic has a swimming pool. Let's go back and see if we can answer the big question. What's it all about, algae?
Alright, let's go interrogate everybody first.
Hey, what's up?
That's a question I'd ask Dion again.
He's on his way to interrogation now.
Gonna have a little word with him. We got evidence to put you at the scene of the night of the murder.
I sincerely doubt this is true. Surely this is a terrible misunderstanding.
Here's what we understand. A porcelain chip from a teacup in your vacuum matches a broken cup at the murder scene. We've got you covering up fraud, your fingerprint on the murder weapon, and your vehicle at the crime scene. It doesn't take 20/20 vision to bring you into focus as a suspect, Dr. Dewan.
Oh my goodness gracious. This does look terribly bad. But I'm an innocent party in this guilty matter. I did not kill my good friend and colleague.
You're right, it does look terribly bad.
Please, listen. I'm new in this country. It takes much funds to start living in a new place. My colleague's daughter, she finds out in some devious fashion. She threatens to tell the good doctor unless I quit and run away. How could I consider this? I had agreed to marry the doctor's daughter. My family would be disgraced, would be devastated. So I drive to his house last night to bare my soul and to beg for forgiveness. The door I find open. No one answers my call. So I go inside. But something, it doesn't feel right. In the air, something forbidding. Still, I go up the stairs to the bedroom. And then I saw him, my benefactor, my friend, dead. I knew at once I will be the suspect. I panic and flee in my vehicle fast as I can.
That doesn't explain how the chip got in your Hoover. Your fingerprint on the murder weapon, that's just a coincidence.
Do you not listen? Am I speaking to the ears of the deaf? I helped Mrs. Banderit make a fire in her living room. I know her daughter. She never wanted to marry me, but her parents, they are delighted to make this traditional arrangement. It was Adya who objected. It is Adya to whom you should speak.
Why do you suspect Andrea Banderit of killing her father?
Adya, she was angry with her father. Yesterday they had an argument at the office. I did not hear all that was said, but it did have to do with her mother, with something Dr. Banderit did to or with Adya's mother.
Thanks for the information, but you'll need to remain our guest while we check out your story. No more last-minute trips out of town, Doctor.
Brass is right there, I want to speak to him. Damn it, I gotta go up to his office. Oh no, I can't, I just go to click integration. I can't because I'm already there. So go to Brass's office. Oh, I can't, I've got to get the warrant first. Dope. I got a warrant. Idea Bandari. Want to bring her in for questioning.
Based on the blood evidence found in her home and our strengthened motive for the killing, as well as her bloody fingerprint at the crime scene, I'd say getting a warrant's a slam dunk.
Why is your father's blood in your sink train?
All right, all right. My mother was here. She came over right after discovering my father's body. That's where the blood in the sink must have come from.
Okay, but that doesn't tell us how your bloody fingerprint wound up in your parents' house, does it? When you learned your father botched your mother's operation, you saw red. You sneaked in and battered your father and left a bloody print on the way out. By the time your mother discovered the body, you'd already washed up at home in your sink.
Ho ho!
That's all backwards and sideways. When my mother discovered my father's body, she freaked out. Hello, she's blind. So she ran over across to me, covered in blood. I left her there, went over to check on father, and of course took his pulse, which is how I got blood on my hand. Get it? I went back to my place and told Mom that Daddy was dead. Really dead. She wouldn't let me call the police. I don't know why, just in shock, I guess. I helped her wash up, and then she had me walk her back home, but then pleaded with me not to stay.
Your mother makes a habit of forgetting such little details.
My mother looks out for me. Doesn't yours? She's way overprotective, and in this case, I just followed her wishes, because she was freaking out. She wanted to spare me, to keep me out of any investigation into this tragedy. But you have to believe me, you are wasting your time down this path. Adarsh, that evil troll, is your killer.
We'll ask the opinion of the evidence, if you don't mind.
Is your father responsible for your mother's blindness?
So, you know our family secret? Yes. My mother suffered from a rare form of age-related macular degeneration. She needed a specialist, but my father wouldn't hear of it. Doing so would humiliate him. So he performed a surgery for which he was in no way qualified, and now my mother is nearly blind. I only recently found out, and I was angry as hell. But I swear I didn't kill him. He was a stupidly proud, often cruel man, but he was my father.
Nearly blind?
Yes, my mother has very limited sight. She's not 100% blind.
Well, that's interesting.
I have nothing else to say to you.
That's fine, because I think your mother's gonna have quite a bit to say. No tension between your Dr. Dewan and your husband?
I do not know of any conflict. Adarsh was quite willingly subservient to my husband. Prayat did seem distracted, and I would say tense, over the last few days. I would ask him what troubled him, and he would only say, work.
Evidence indicates Dr. Dewan was stealing.
Well, Visa had contacted him about some kind of fraud, but Adarsh? I certainly would remember that. This may explain why my beloved Prayat was so tense and distracted of late.
Can you confirm Dr. Dewan visited your house socially?
Adarsh? No. My husband and I rarely entertain. I would remember.
He claims he helped start a fire in your living room fireplace, and got his fingerprints on the poker that way.
It is just barely possible Adarsh visited my husband here sometime while I was away, but I so rarely leave the house. If he had stopped by for business or on a social call, I'd surely remember.
Tell us how you lost your eyesight.
That is a painful subject to me, and of no pertinence to this tragedy.
Was your daughter angry with your husband at the time of the murder?
Adia? Angry with Prayat? Such nonsense. She adored her father, and he her.
We have reason to believe Adia recently learned of your husband's negligence and the loss of your eyesight.
You speak of private personal matters that have no bearing on this tragedy. My daughter loved her father, and her father loved his daughter. The story begins and ends there, and I have nothing more to say. I can't think of anything I haven't told you already.
Okay. Then let's go to the pool house.
Pool house is separate from the main residence. Don't think our warrant covers it. Let's look around outside.
Okay, I've got to just look around outside. Oh, hello. Oh, would you look at that?
You want a different tool for that.
Residue from the pool. Oh, hello, insect. Some Moby, please. The hell's that? Hand? Alright, back to the lab! This is all very confusing. Crime should be easy to solve. We need to make that a law. Alright, what we got here? What are we comparing? Scratch impression from the pool house, torn fabric. There. From the pool house door. Why do I get the feeling it's going to be Dr. Bandery's? Everything is Dr. Bandery's. His blood has just got everywhere.
It matches all right. Perfect place for someone to clean up after a little dip.
Alright, we got a warrant to go in properly. First, I want to. What is the rest of the pool house? Shout out to HP. There's the algae. so much. On a warrant. We need a warrant to search the pool house.
Vic's blood at the entrance of the pool house? That makes it part of the crime scene as far as I'm concerned.
I want to talk to...
He's on his way to interrogation now.
Talk to him. See if he's got anything left to say.
Please, I have told you everything.
Alright, let's go talk to Senorita.
She's on her way to interrogation now.
Cool. Let's see what she's got to say.
I have nothing else to say to you.
Oh, she's still quite annoyed. Fair enough. You know what? The Doc had some extra stuff to say to us before things appeared. Let's see if the Doc's got anything to say now. How can I mean to be partially blind?
Well, there are degrees. You can't be a little bit pregnant, but you can be less than completely blind. Typically, patients with macular degeneration still have some peripheral vision. Amita has exudative macular degeneration, as found in about 10% of cases. Dense scar tissue can block out central vision severely.
Is eye surgery a common treatment?
With older patients with age-related macular degeneration, laser therapy is on the increase. Low-energy laser doesn't vaporize tissues, rather heats them, a process not unlike welding. In this case, the doctor made things worse.
Okay. I'll speak to the lady one more time. We found fresh scratch marks on your pool house window.
The window frame was newly painted and this caused it to stick. I complained of the heat inside and my husband pried it open with the screwdriver. I can't think of anything I haven't told you already.
Really? Okay, anyone else? Hands up if you don't believe her. Alright, let's go. Go inside the pool house, see what we got.
Wow, what I would have given for a place like this back in my college days. Somebody's been staying here. The wife, maybe? Odd for such a devoted couple.
Alright, this point awarded.
We don't have permission for this. Yet.
Then, by golly gosh, what do we have permission for? Oh, hey, let's go in here. Oh, hello.
Blood spatter on this robe is consistent with its wearer delivering medium impact blows. Like those that killed our victim, not somebody just stumbling innocently upon a bloody corpse.
Hello, screwdriver. Oh, got a thoroughness point. Okay. Off to the lab! Comparison, branch impressions, screwdriver.
This
Yeah.
confirms the screwdriver was used to open the pool house window. Doesn't bear on our investigation, apparently.
Okay, well at least we sorted that out. On fabric and the silk robe are a match.
This fabric's definitely part of the robe.
Where did we get the torn fabric from? Got it from under the chair. Blood from the robe is almost certainly going to be...
That would be a big bingo. Assailant definitely wore this robe during the murder.
We'll see what warrant we've got. I got a warrant, this time for Amita Bandarit.
Widow Banderit's been lying from the start, maybe covering up for her little girl. Let's get her in here.
We found a robe in your pool house covered in your husband's blood. Spatter found on the robe is consistent with someone at the scene when your husband was killed, not with contact with the body after the fact. Your daughter was at the crime scene, and we believe she may have worn your robe when she killed your husband.
She did no such thing. I did.
You're confessing? Are you admitting to the murder of your husband, Mrs. Bandarit?
I am not about to let you make the wrong assumptions and persecute, much less prosecute, my daughter. Adia has been through quite enough. Thank you. You've talked to people. Surely by now you know what a cold, controlling monster my husband was. And as his wife, I accepted this. But for my lovely daughter, life must be different. She was born here, left home to go to school. And yet, still he tries to control her, manipulating her into an occupation pleasing to him, forcing her to work for him. Adia seemed content with these choices, however pushed upon her they might have been. But when Prayat insisted, no, demanded, Adia marry a man she did not love, a man with the same old-fashioned notions that would mean disrespect and a slavery of sorts for my precious girl. And then, when he threatened to separate Adia from myself, I had no choice but to stop him. What mother wouldn't? And so I killed him. I put him out of our misery. When I learned that that foul snake, Adash, was in your custody, I thought his karma had caught up with him. But when you begin to suspect my daughter, my innocent child, I must come forward. Jaya will be a small payment for a life of freedom for Adia.
Okay. Makes sense to me.
Man, nothing like a confession to make a CSI's day. Even at night.
Hold up. Problem. Daughter's just confessed to the same murder Mommy did. Adia Bandarit is in the interview room. Talk to her.
Oh, what? Oh, that just confuses matters. Is there something you want to tell us, Miss Banderoot?
I just heard that my mother confessed. She's trying to take the blame from me. Surely you can see that she's sacrificing herself for me.
Still hazy. Why don't you clear it up?
I did it, obviously. I swear. I wore the robe, killed my father. You've gotten the picture, right? How horrible he was to her? She was chattel. That sexist traditional nonsense was bad enough, but then his pride robbed her of her very eyesight. He was gonna separate Mother and me if I didn't marry that pathetic weasel. I couldn't stand for that. For any of it. I killed him. I killed him. I'd kill him again if I could. Arrest me. Let my poor sweet mother go.
Not that simple. Both you and Mom have motive and opportunity. But one of you is lying.
How the hell are we going to solve this one?
So you have two confessions. One murderer and one liar. What's your next step?
When in doubt, go back to the evidence. Only I'm not finding anything conclusive here. Both the mother and daughter have motive. Either one of them could have worn the robe. Both were linked to the victim's blood. I just can't find anything that points to either of them conclusively.
German philosopher Arthur Schopenhauer said, "Every man takes the limits of his own field of vision for the limits of the world." It's possible you're letting your own perspective blind you to the evidence.
Are you seeing something that we're not?
Not from here. Go back to the scene of the crime. Put yourself in the killer's place. And remember, even the best of us can miss important evidence sometimes.
Alright. Okay, we've had our pep talk.
Huh. I wonder if Gris ever gets tired of being right. If I were standing where the assailant did and struck the victim, then when the weapon came back, the blood cast off would fly right, because I'm right-handed. From this position, Spatter clearly swings to the left, hitting the wall, with no swings to the right. Our killer is left-handed. Now we just have to find evidence to determine whether the lefty is mother or daughter.
There's got to be something at the pool house. Aha! Okay. Back to the lab. Alright, what are we looking at here? Special search. Sample prep for handwriting analysis.
Based on the slants of the letters and the direction of the smudge marks, we can safely say that Mrs. Banderoot is left-handed. Place settings in the daughter's kitchen indicate one is right-handed, the other left. Crossword handwriting says the mother was the definite lefty. We have our killer.
Got it.
Hey, what's up? She's on her way to interrogation now.
Your daughter also confessed to the murder of your husband, but the evidence agrees with your version.
Of course it does. She is innocent, trying to protect me.
We know, Mrs. Banderit. Your daughter is right-handed, but Mr. Banderit was killed by a left-handed person. Like yourself.
I owe you thanks. I know I said some cruel things to you before, and I am sure my daughter has done the same. But I thank you for finding the truth in this, and not allowing to stand the injustice of my daughter being blamed for my act. She should be free. She has been inside the prison my husband built for her long enough.
And with that, Miss Bandery, we would like you to withdraw your confession.
No, I won't. I told you. I explained it. Weren't you listening? I killed my father, and I'd do it again.
Maybe you would do it again if you had the chance. Only you didn't do it in the first place. Forensics tells us your father's killer was left-handed, like your mother. You're right-handed, meaning there's little chance you could have wielded that fireplace poker. Much as it may disappoint you, Adja, you're innocent. Your mother could no longer bear her controlling husband, so she grabbed the fireplace poker and for once took charge of her own life. And his. Then she went to your house and you helped her wash off before she hid the robe at the pool house.
All right. But before you go any further, stop and think. She didn't do this for herself. She did it to protect me. All those terrible years, she never once complained, never challenged that demon. My father was the monster here, my mother the victim. To be pitied, not tried for this necessary execution.
Wow, that's one way of putting it, I guess.
We did fine. Great, in fact. Nice having another sharp pair of eyes. Justice may be blind, but CSI's gotta see every detail.
Oh god.
Check in with Gris for your evaluation.
Uh-oh. What's Gris gonna say?
All right, here's your evaluation. For evidence, you found everything there was to find. For hints, you didn't need any at all. And at the end of the day, you followed the evidence to a clear conclusion. Can't argue with that. Good work. You did very well, though as I noted, there's still some room to improve. I'm giving you an above-average grade. And by the way, thank you for all the new specimens you found for my collection.
Hey, Grissom says we're above average. We'll go with that. In your eyes. The Peace. Alright guys, YouTube, oh hello, YouTube, thank you very much. Check you out in my next video.